Hi, it's Clarence. Look, guys, I am so sorry. It's been so long since my last my last video, talking to you. But I've been so busy. I've been so busy, y'all. You see, what happened was, like I said, I work for OWN, Oprah's network, and we've been trudging along, doing pretty well. But one thing that we learned in market research is that a lot of people were saying that we don't need three cable channels that show 8 hours a day of the Golden Girls. So, we were worried because that was our whole plan. But then what happened was one of my coworkers, Janice, don't call her Janice. No, really don't. Don't call her Janice because she'll slap you. Anyway, she came up to me. She saw I was so upset, so worried. And she said, "Look, honey, we're just going to have to take this one day at a time." And that gave me an idea. So then when I left Alcoholics Anonymous, I ran into Bonnie Franklin. And I said, "Hey, nobody's really showing your show anymore. And that's so sad because it's so good. It's so good." So that's what we're going to do. We're going to show lots of reruns of One Day at a Time. And it's so funny. Oh my god. And it's got Schneider, it's got Valerie Bertinelli, it's got Mackenzie Phillips sometimes, sometimes she had other things to do, if you know what I mean. You could read her book, you'll find that out. Anyway, so, coming back, I wanted to do a show that's real special, okay? This is a show that so many people have seen, so many people have loved. It's not on Broadway anymore. It's kind of sad, but it is touring. It's just started touring, I got the inside scoop, And it's called Les Miserables. But a lot of people call it Les Miz, which I don't understand because there is an S in that first word. Anyway, so it's all about this guy, and his name is, they call him Jean Valjean, which just sounds like such a weird name to me, but, it's French, so who can say. But what he does is, he's starving, and so he steals this loaf of bread, and then, of course, the police, try to kill him, because back in France in those days, that's what happened. And then, so he, goes, he runs from the police and stuff, and then, goes into this, church, and, he's like, "Oh my gosh, there's so much silver here, so much silverware that's made of silver," because that's how it got the name. And and he was like, "Well, I'm just going to steal this, and I'm going to run. I'm going to run and run and run," and then the police catch him. And the bishop is like, "Hey, wait, no. I gave that to him. It was a present." But he forgot to take this stuff as well. And Jean Valjean was all like, "What was that about?" And he's like, "Well, I just did you a good turn, so pay it forward." Just like that movie, with Kevin Spacey. Is that his name? I don't know. Had scars all on his face. It was sad, but funny, but touching. Anyway, I'm getting off subject. So, yeah, okay, so he's like, "Okay, well, I'm going to go do good stuff because, you helped me." And so he does, and he becomes a mayor. And there's this one character I don't understand because, she's like, she's, one of those, I'll do things for you for money, kind of women. And, she sings this one really pretty song. I think the character's name is Susan Boyle. I think that's what it is. Because every time I look up the song, that's the only name that pops up. So, I lost my playbill. Anyway, she sings one song, and then she's gone for almost the rest of the show. She shows up at the end, but I don't want to spoil it just for you, just yet. So she sings this song about how, life was good once, but then it was bad, and then, whatever, and then she dies. And so Jean Valjean, he takes care of, this little girl, and the little girl, grows up and is pretty, and she falls in love with this boy, and then there's a revolution. and they're all on this big barricade and they're singing and they're dying, and it's so touching. And I mean, I just basically told you the whole show in about like 30 seconds, but the show's like 6 hours long. It's long, but it's pretty. It's wonderful. You'd love it. So, then things go on, and then finally, like, this police officer that has been searching for Jean Valjean finds him, and is like, I'm going to take you down. And Jean Valjean's like, no, look at all the good stuff that I've done. And then the policeman's like, yeah, that's right. Oh my God, I wasted my life. I'm going to jump off this bridge. And he does. And it's sad. And also there's these two funny people, and they sing this song about how they like bilk people out of all their money when they stay at their, their hotel, their inn. And then eventually, once everyone's dead, they go through and pick their pockets, and then they come back and they're all rich and stuff, and they're happy. So that's good, And then the pretty girl and the pretty boy, of course, they get together, but then there's another girl who likes the pretty boy, but she sings plenty about that. And then she, she just is like, okay, well, why don't you go off with that, pretty girl, whatever, I don't care. But she cares. So there's just so much going on in Les Miserables that I can't really explain it all to you, but you really, really, really should go see it. And